We gotta look back at this. How does he maintain possession?
Jenkins, and that definitely was a little helmet-to-helmet on that hit.
Guys, Meredith Foreman here, and are you still not subscribed to Matt's channel? Well, if you're not, hit the subscribe button because he's giving out free picks each and every week. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
NFL Week 3 is here, guys. I'll be looking at 3 games like usual. This week I'm going to look at both Monday night games. I do think they are interesting. And Packers versus Saints, close one there. SystemSportsCapping.com or link.me/systemcapping for everything system capping. Client subscriptions, resume, client comments, and much, much more. System capping on all social media platforms, guys. I'm active over there, especially on Instagram, Twitter, a little bit on TikTok as well. I usually do a free video play each week in the PGA golf market. We're 77% on the year in these free play videos, guys. Sports betting news as well over there and everything sports. Let's do a week 3 recap. Let's get right into it and not waste any time. Another big week for myself and clients, guys. And video viewers as well. If you're not a client and you just watch the free videos, shout out to you as well. 6-2 client card. Back-to-back 6-2 client card weeks. It's 12-4 on the year, 75%. Hitting on all full unit plays as well. That's what I'm most happy about. Only misses were half unit plays. Didn't like them as much as a full unit. Didn't check off every box that I look for. Hopefully you tailed the underdogs again. We hit 2 out of the 3. Ravens and Steelers both at plus money. Got it done. I was on the Ravens for clients as well, plus 3.5. We were on the Bengals team total, under 24. It was just a big game for everybody. Big win for the Ravens on the road, right? Huge win. Bengals start 0-2. Ravens move to 2-0 on top of that division. I have a few futures on them this year. I'm happy how they're looking so far. We got plus money, like plus 220 on the Ravens to win the division. It's early, but it's a good start. And we also took best bet over 9.5 wins. I'm pretty sure that gets there unless, they had experienced some injuries already. But any bigger injuries, obviously it is a threat. So futures, you do kind of take a chance, obviously due to injury concerns. But so far, so good. We cashed on another teaser for you guys. Hopefully you did tail. Hit the client one as well. We're 2-0 in the teaser market to start the year. Spread winners with Ravens, Bills, Falcons, money line. And the bet I'm most proud about last week was the Falcons on the money line instead of the -1.5, right? If you got -1, you would have pushed. If you got the 1.5, you would have lost. The reason I bet it, a few things. Their kicker missed the most extra points last season. They were in 3 one-point games last year, and I expect the game to be close. What happened? The kicker missed a field goal. An extra point. Boom, Atlanta comes back, wins by 1. So that was a big call for me. I'm glad I took the money line. You lay a little. I laid it was -120, -125. You lay a little more juice, but 110, 125. It's not that big of a deal when you think that could happen. Look what happened. It happened. NFL update. Let's do an NFL update here. 12-4 on the year, 74% all bets, 4-1 totals to start the year, and 2-0 in the teaser market. Circa update. Let's do a Circa update here. Both entries still alive in Survivor. Set up nicely with entry 2. Entry 2 I'm excited about. I do 2 entries, right? 1 entry more of, the favorites who should win the game, and then a little more risky in entry 2 because you have 2. I'm able to do that. Week 1, Washington. Week 2, Giants. Attack the Arizona. We got lucky with the Giants, right? But they decided to play in the second half, come back and show how bad Arizona really is. So sitting nicely in entry 2 with Washington and Giants U. So I have all the big dogs for later on in the tournament. Hopefully, there's going to be upsets, guys. Sometimes you can't control them. You have to just pick the right spots. Hopefully we do. Things are looking good. I think there's a 5,900 remaining out of 9,260. Grand prize over 9 million, guys. So starting good, but it's a long road in Survivor. Nice 4-0-1. We had a push with Atlanta -1 in the spread tournament. Remember, in the spread tournament, it's very difficult because they request and they ask you to pick 5 spreads. It's rare at a full any full week I like 5 spreads. So you're usually forced to bet 2 or 3. I usually like anywhere from 2 to 3, sometimes 4 spreads on the week. It's rare I like 5, so it is difficult at times that you have to pick and choose. But good week this week, 6-3-1 on the year in that tournament, which I'm happy with the start. Only losses last week. What did we lose last week for clients? Yeah, I had Chargers -3. I thought they would bounce back 0-2 loss. They were winning the whole game until the end. Tennessee tied it up late, and it was due to a couple long bombs from Tannehill. Like, they were back in their zone and threw like 250-plus yard catches. That's what got them back down. That's what brought them to overtime, and then they kick a field goal in overtime. So, tough beat there. We still had the Rams under 18.5. They got to 20. Why? Because that late field goal. Right? That was a bad beat. Some people lost on the spread because of it with 49ers. I think it was 8.5 to spread or something. Some people lost. I lost on the team total because of that. So that was one bad beat there with the Rams. Half unit though, so not too bad. Let's hear from my friend Kristen, ex-lingerie football player, now model and race car driver.
For you sports bettors out there, let's be honest, you probably need a little bit of help beating those books. System Capping is a proven long-term winner against the sports betting market in multiple sports. He's built a worldwide clientele due to his high winning percentage over the years. Be sure to click the link on the bio down here to check out his profile, and you can also find out his resume, client comments, podcasts, and subscription opportunities. I'm going to be following him along too, so let's win some money together this season.
Shop around, guys. Shop around and have multiple books. It's the best advice I can give you week to week due to prices varying from book to book. Saints versus Packers. Packers -2, total 42.5. Should be a tight game. Should be a good one, guys. The Packers could easily be 2-0, right, with the Saints, but allowed that feisty Falcons team to come back and run all over them, right? Stole the game at the end there. The Saints won in Carolina by a field goal and barely got by the Titans by 1 point. This will be their toughest test yet in Green Bay, in my opinion. On a short week with no running back, both Williams and Kamara is out. Green Bay also a little bit banged up, right? Adam Jones looks like he will miss this one. Again, check the Friday report, which gives the opportunity to A.J. Dillon, right? A.J. Dillon was always just behind Aaron Jones. Not, sometimes you think, give him more carries. This is time to shine. Didn't have a great game last game. This is his time to shine, hopefully get in the end zone as well. They may get Watson back, Christian Watson back at wide receiver. I think that'd be huge for them. He was practicing this week. Not too sure if he'll get out there, but it would be another nice weapon. It's technically their number 1 wide receiver. Love what I'm seeing from QB Love, right, for Green Bay, replacing Rodgers. He's been looking good, guys. 396 total yards so far in 2 games. 6 TDs. That's what's impressive. 6 TDs. So he's throwing for touchdowns and a QB rating at 75.2. He was doing that without his best receiver, Watson, as well. So like I mentioned, they get him back. That'll be a nice weapon here for him. The Packers defense continues to be legit. It's Packers defense for the most part keeping them around. Besides the run game, right? The run game's struggling a little bit. I think it did last year as well. Atlanta was able to run all over them, and they are averaging the 3rd most rushing yards against them on the year. But keep in mind with the Saints, no Kamara, like I mentioned, no Williams at the top. They're having a 3rd-string practice squad running back. So their secondary is solid. They are good against the pass. So if you can't really run on the Packers, not too sure how much success you will have. Saints D is legit, right? Didn't play any top offenses yet. That's, I still know they have a good defense. They always usually do. I think that's the backbone of this team. They only played Tennessee Titans and Carolina, right? Keep in mind, both those games were close, right? 1 point win against Tennessee. Carolina, they barely beat. It was tied pretty much all game. Saints scored a late touchdown, and then Carolina came back with a touchdown, lost by 3. So keep in mind, Saints have been getting wins, but it hasn't been super pretty. Carr has been fine, even though they only scored, under 20 points in both games, 17 and 20. He has a solid enough passer rating at 80 after 2 games against Carolina. It wasn't as good, though, with a 65 passer rating, 0 TDs, 1 interception, and 222 yards. Not great, not a great line there for Carr on the road. Most QBs look good against the Titans, right? That's why he has that passer rating up. I expect him not to shine as much versus his Packers defense on the road. Tough spot to play. It's a tough spot for the Saints, in my opinion. Can the Packers overcome the injuries? Continue, right? They do have some key injuries there. They may get a few back, so watch the injury report there. I do think the Packers can steal this one at home due to the short week for the Saints. The run game is banged up and is the way you beat the Packers. And keep in mind the short week isn't ideal on the road. So if I had to bet this game, I would lean the Packers. I would look the Packers' way. Obviously, if their injury report does improve, I would like it more. But right now, leaning the Packers' way -2. Total's tough. I lean the over since 42 is kind of low. But both teams have fairly good defenses, so I wouldn't be shocked if it went under. Eagles -5 at the Bucs. This is a Monday night. Another back-to-back Monday nighter games makes Monday a little more exciting than it normally is. Both 2-0 teams are going at it in sunny Tampa Bay, right? Some would say they didn't see the Bucs being a 2-0 team, but their schedule wasn't terribly difficult. So, I'm not surprised. I'm more surprised with the Minnesota road win, but, Minnesota's showing their true colors, and I mentioned to you guys, they're not going to come anywhere close to 13 wins. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't make the playoffs. Baker Mayfield has fit in very nicely with this team and the weapons around him, right? He has some of the best, definitely the best weapons of his career, right? You can't compare any from Cleveland to the weapons that he has. Mike Evans, him and Mike Evans just look like... they look like they're made for each other, playing well together. Obviously, Godwin, some other weapons around him. Definitely, it is paying off so far, bringing in Baker Mayfield as a flyer, right? Evans was a must-draft fantasy guy for me this year because where he was getting drafted. I can't remember what round I got him in a couple of my drafts, but I have him on every team. And it's because where he was going. And we knew he was going to get targets. Baker likes to throw the ball. They don't have a terribly great running backs either, a run game, right? So I expected them to throw the ball, right? And I expect them to throw the ball here again too, right? Eagles secondary, not great. They're allowing a lot of yards, guys. I think it's second most so far at 326 passing yards. And in comes Baker Mayfield and his Evans connection along with Godwin and their weapons. So, Eagles are coming into this a bit more rested. Keep that in mind. They played the Thursday game, but they're banged up as well. This team is banged up as well, a long list of injuries. I have Tampa Bay as the more healthier team. What does Eagles like to do? Eagles like to run the ball as well, right? Bucs, top 3 against the rush. Top 3 against the rush, obviously Vita Vea, one of the best run stoppers in the league. He's there in the middle. I expect maybe, Hurts to throw the ball a little more in this. But Bucs defense has improved. The one thing last year, I was surprised how Bucs defense have played. Very surprised how they played. This year, things are coming together. Looks like they're coming together. Again, they played a good passing offense in Minnesota. Obviously, Chicago, they're not. But they were able to get to Fields, 6 sacks last week. That's going to be important here. Get to Hurts if they want to hang around in this game. And, getting +5 at home with the Eagles not playing their best football as of yet would have to be the look for me. +5 with the Bucs at home. Now again, Eagles could come in here, look unstoppable, and that 10-game rest, allows them to, come in here and handle the Bucs fairly easily. I wouldn't be shocked by it. But if I had to play it, I'm not going to take the 5 points on the road with the Eagles. I would have to take the plus money at home with the Eagles here due to the Bucs start. They've been looking good on all sides of the ball. Eagles, I think, will get better as the season goes on. Wouldn't be surprised if Eagles win a close one here. But if I had to bet this game, it's going to be Bucs +5. I do think they hang around. I do think their run game is good enough to stop it. And I don't know if Gainwell's back yet. They're going to have to rely on Swift again, which he did have a good game last game. But can he repeat that? Will be a question. Look for A.J. Brown to get more targets last game. I don't know if you guys saw A.J. Brown hurts fighting on the sideline because he wasn't getting target enough. Only, I think, 4 targets. Not enough for A.J. Brown. So look for him to target A.J. Brown more in this game. You may want to look at the props over, catches over. Also look at Mike Evans over in yards. I think it's in the 50s right now. I do think he gets over that. They may make a client play for me this week. Another Monday Nighter. We got 2 good Monday Nighters, guys. Rams at Bengals, -3, total 44. The Bengals opened the season, again, 0-2. Everyone forgets. This happened last year. Seemed to always start slow, and that's why we were on the Ravens last week, right? We cashed on the Ravens all over the place. 0-3, though, doesn't seem like an option here, in my opinion. It's a tall hill to climb to make the playoffs. 0-3, this team is going to be extra motivated at home to avoid back-to-back losses. I have no other way to look but at the Bengals here, right? If you start 0-3, I can't tell you the percentages, but it's low that you're going to make the playoffs, especially win the division. If you start 0-3, Ravens move to 3-0, they should beat the Colts at home unless, you never know. But Richardson, I don't think, is playing in that game. It's going to be a tall hill to climb, right? Then you got to play the Ravens again. At home, you're playing the Ravens on the road. It's just going to be a very tough hill to climb, and I expect this team to be extra motivated on all sides of the ball, coaching staff as well, to get the job done here. Extra motivation as well. They lost the Super Bowl to Rams a couple years ago, right? So that's another thing to mention. Question always, of course, is going to be Joe Burrow. How healthy is it? You got to kind of wait to bet this game, right? As of right now, I'm looking at this game as Burrow's playing. I didn't see any concerns from him this week. He says he feels better. I don't think it's a huge concern. I think it's going to be something that he's dealing with all year. So if I had to bet this game as Burrow playing, I'm going to have to look at the Bengals here. Now, the -3 could be a push. I get it. Could be a close game, field goal win. Money line, is probably -150 or more. Not terribly excited about that, but you could take the money line here on Bengals. But, -3, you get a push. Not the end of the world. Bengals winning by 1 or 2, it's lower odds, right, for them to win by 1 or 2. So that's something to keep in mind. Rams have been a little bit of a surprise to me, at least. I had them power rankings lower. I had to raise them in my power rankings each week. Obviously, 49ers handled them pretty easily. They did hang around at times, but the first game against Seattle was very shocking. Seattle just, I guess, started slow, but Rams are looking good. Obviously, Cooper Kupp still out. But their rookie's been great for him. He's been replacing what Cooper Kupp does. Their defense have been playing a little better, even though 49ers put, 30 on them. They're young. They are young. Their core is kind of young. They've lost some key guys on defense last season. But, I can see Bengals. I can see the Rams trying to keeping this game close throughout. But I just expect a very highly motivated Bengals team to avoid 0-3. It's a situational bet here, right? Take the Bengals. Obviously, it's a little risky if Burrow gets hurt in game. There are some risks with this bet. But, you could see Burrow come into this game with no issues and just lighting it up with Chase and Higgins against, their suspect corners. In my eyes, still a young team in the secondary there, right? 49ers were able to take advantage there. They're also able to run the ball on the Rams. Bengals maybe mixing as somewhat of a bigger game, bigger role here if Burrow's not 100%. So, yeah, play's going to be the Bengals. It could make my client card here as well. I got to wait, though. You got to wait for more Burrow news. He didn't practice Thursday. Keep that in mind, but I would like to see some participation on Friday. It is a Monday game, so I don't think they may do the injury report Saturday as a final, so keep that in mind, guys. Total 44, I lean the over, but it's not going to get my money. Underdogs were cruising again this year, guys. In the underdog market, I gave you the Ravens and Steelers last week. 2-1. I said the Pats had a chance, but Ravens and Steelers I liked a little more. 5-1 on the year if you are keeping track. This week, I don't really like much, to be honest. Again, I never really love an underdog for the most part. But this week I got to look at the Steelers on the road versus the Raiders after a big win at home. That's the only thing I really like. You get that around plus 130. Don't love it. Don't love it. Check some injuries too on Steelers, see if they get anyone back. But that's going to be my favorite play this week. Won't bet it though. It's not going to make a client card. Teasers, another winner last week, 2-0 to start the year. Client teaser sent out already. 49ers was a part of that at 3.5. They easily covered and blew them out. Even covered the line at 10.5. Other ones I like this week, they're going to look at Dallas -5. They should win by double digits over Arizona. Arizona's just terrible. Ravens could be an option as well. You can get that at -1. Remember, these are 7-point teasers that I play. You get that at plus money if you bet 3. Check the injury report. Ravens are a bit banged up. See if Richardson's playing as well. I don't think Richardson's going, to be honest. But Ravens have a long list as well. Could be somewhat of a game, after a big win, you could kind of slow it down. I don't think that 8 is tough to get to, but Gardner Minshew, I don't know if I can trust him that much. Bengals, right? If Burrow plays, and get at plus 4.5. If Rams win this game, I think it's by a field goal. But it all matters if Burrow plays, so watch out for that. That will do it, guys. That will do it. More free picks for you guys each week. If you want to be a client, that's the best way to get the most maximum profit. Head over to the website now. Get on board and start profiting long term in all sports. We don't just bet NFL, of course, you guys know that. Profitable in all sports each year. Like I always say, guys, bet smart and know your limits. Enjoy week 3.